Gooch LBW Lily 16, Athy Court Laird Bold Pasco 1 was 19 for 1, 43 for 2. Bright again, going round the wicket to the right-handed Boycott. And they managed to run 2. That's the end of the over at 69 for 2. And after Trevor Bailey, it will be Christopher Martin Jenkins.
Mr. John Arlott concluded spell commentary for BBC on Sun Radio.
The applause was for John Arlott, his last commentary.
I'm sure the entire ground clapping at that announcement by Alan Curtis that John has just done his final test match session.
Cricket, of course, has its deeply emotional moments, as well as its great and epic performances. Things, feats, performances that we shall never forget and that remain in the heart. And it's a great delight to recall them, to relive them, and to share them all over again. To recall such great cricketers as Viv Richards, all lordly command. Fred Truman in what Yorkshire called his pomp. Barry Richards, master of all the strokes. Bob Massey, who surprised himself as well as the cricket world of 1972. Graham Pollock, a great batsman who suffered from the misfortunes of history. Derek Underwood, utterly steady, and they nicknamed him Deadly. Garfield Sobers, perhaps the most widely gifted of all all-rounders. Ian Botham, match-winning all-rounder, first as a batsman in aggressive command, then as a destroying bowler. And finally, Sunil Gavaskar, delight of the statisticians. Viv Richards batted like a prince, never more so nor more effectively than in the 5th Test of 1976. Then, after Clive Lloyd had won the toss, Gordon Greenwich was out at 5, the perfect cue for Richards. He strode in, held his audience all day long, while he scored 291 out of 590.
Sullivan out to Richards. Confidently away, moved inside, clipped it away square, the first boundary. New ball bowlers are going to change ends.
Replacing Willis Samuel Ox for him, Derek Underwood.
It's a slow one, time swung away to deep square. No chance at all there of Amos cutting it off. That's cut away, chased by Miller, but once again it'll race away for 4 more. So an expensive change to date. There's 2 boundaries already. Oh, it's a glorious shot, glorious stroke. And this man is so quickly into position. His feet moving like lightning, forcing it away square on the offside. A player here with all the confidence in the world. Foot already back into position, the bat following through. Glorious shot.
Well, that's a lovely stroke. Superb footwork there to take him to the pitch of the ball. Just racing into the boundary away the far side of the ground. Oh, well, that was a good shot. There's a no ball, and Richards had plenty of time to change his mind there. He was going after it off the front foot. He was beaten in the flight, but it didn't matter because umpire Ali had already made the call. Four runs, no third man. It went through the gully area in the air.
And that's through this time, all right. So Richards goes to his 50 before Fredericks. Comes back for the third and moves on to 51. Applause from the England fielders, and Richards again in really cracking form here at the Oval. His 50 coming in just 87 minutes, 5 boundaries included. And you can't allow anything round about leg stump at this man, Richards. Nonchalantly flicked that away through mid-wicket for 4 more. This partnership past the 3-figure mark now.
Oh, what a marvellous shot. That really was a superb stroke. Well, I'll be very interested to see what the umpires do about that. And it's signal 4. Nice sight. The ground itself a little on the brown side, which one can't complain about. The lack of rain, but the outfield is very fast and is in good condition considering all the circumstances. It's safe, right over the top of the bowler's head, and 4 runs into the pavilion rails. And Miller between the umpire and the stumps, round the wicket. What a magnificent catch that was. You will never see a greater catch than that one by Chris Balderstone to dismiss Roy Fredericks. .159 for 2 now. Fredericks is out, caught Balderstone, bowled Miller. And Miller has claimed his first test wicket. Short, spinning away, hit like a rocket by Fredericks, and Balderstone took off. He plays a lot of soccer, but it's not in goal. But that was worthy of one of the great goalkeepers of all time.
And we'll be facing Geoffrey Miller. Swept away behind square, certainly be his 100 this. Richards knows it, takes the first one comfortably, jogs away for the second to complete another brilliant performance. His 100 coming here in just on 3 hours, including 10 fours. And really is a man in form. It's his 8th Test 100 and his 3rd against England, and bear in mind he only made his first Test match debut in less than 2 years ago. Oh, it's a good shot before. Again, the over-pitch wideish half volley. Just a little bit too far outside off stump.
That's a fine shot, beautifully placed. Just racing away over the parched outfield there. Shot. What a good shot. That wasn't very far offline. It was just a fraction short, and he was into position beautifully for that. Just gave himself a little bit of room. Smashed it away through cover plate.
Beautifully placed, gave himself room. It wasn't all that short. But this man Richards is so quick on his feet. He seizes and sizes up the opportunity so quickly. And little or no margin of error. Not all that short, as you can see. And back goes the foot. And whack he goes. Perfectly placed through the covers. A magnificent shot again. Ran away from it, played it late, crushed it square. So up goes about 150 to Viv Richards in the 77th over now, and in some previous Test match days that's as many as we got all day. Still an hour and 20 minutes to go here. A bad ball short, and taken full advantage of again by Richards. Hammered away through mid-wicket for 4 more. So 300 total reached with only 2 men out, and Richard's share of that is 157. And that's 4 more, no bother at all. Richards disdaining to leave the crease. Stood there and hammered it away, leant on his bat and admiringly watched it go through for 4 more. His 24th boundary in a total of 189. And that's out this time. He stumped him, not a stumped him. That one certainly turned. And Derek Underwood strikes and he'll be relieved. It's the first wicket he's taken since Old Trafford. And Lonsrow is the man to go, out for 70. Stumped not, bowled Underwood with the West Indies total on 350. So applause for Alan Knott, establishing this new world record. Most dismissals now made by a wicketkeeper in Test match cricket. So Underwood at long last breaking this partnership, and the ball certainly turning there quite considerably and presenting a pretty simple stumping chance to Alan Knott. And that's it, clipped away nonchalantly and elegantly, and unfortunately we're going to get an invasion which will spoil this really brilliant 200. So Richards going on to a second double century in this Test match series, and he's the last person who wants this sort of treatment or this sort of behaviour on the ground.
A lovely shot. Guess he plays that well. Several times yesterday he was beautifully positioned to get that ball away through mid-wicket, and that was a superb example of it. And the young cricketers watching couldn't do better than use that as a model. A lovely roll of the wrists just as the feet have taken him to the pitch of the ball. Safe and a fine stroke. Might have been beaten a little in the flight there by Underwood, and he went through with the stroke beautifully. Didn't try hitting across the spin, hit with it straight over extra cover. Yes, he was on his way down. And a very sensible stroke. What a good shot. My word. Would have been a great catch. That's the sort of catch you don't really want to see coming back at you. Good shot.
position there for the half volley. Half volley outside the leg stump presents no problems to Richards in this sort of form. So 120 of his runs now coming in fours as he moves on to 239. And the shot repeated, another half volley round about leg stump, flicked away there. And you'd really think the England bowlers must know the great strength of this man. Anything round about leg stump, so severe on. That's a half volley, stroked gloriously through the covers before. It's the one he was waiting for that takes him on to 250, establishes a 100 partnership between these two. In fact, the third successive century stand in this innings to date. And another beautiful shot. Just simply waiting for the over pitch ball and repeating the dose again in that over. And another half volley, and that stroke just for a change through mid-wicket. And he's bowled him, and Richards goes on 291, the end of a memorable innings. A useful delivery indeed from Tony Greig. A little bit of spin from outside the off stump. A little casual shot from Vivian Richards. And the end of a day that people at the Oval will remember for a very long time. 291 made out of 524, and in that last over from Tony Greig, he established a new aggregate in runs scored in a test series by a West Indian. Been applauded all the way in by the England team in an innings which lasted 474 minutes and included 38 boundaries.
That was the highest score ever made by a West Indian in England, and their 687 for 8, their record score, gave them a win by an innings and 231. As for Richards, he made 829 in the 4 tests, which gave him a figure for the calendar year of 1,710 runs in 11 tests. West Indies never had a more exciting batsman than Richards in his prime. Fred Trueman was the first bowler to take 300 wickets in Test cricket. He hated batsmen, but he loved to see the back of them as quickly as possible. Now, in fact, let's give bowlers a chance. And anybody who thinks that a drawn match is automatically dull should have seen the Lord's Test of 1963. Now, in that game, Trueman took a bit of punishment early on, but he and Derek Shackleton, who surprisingly enough only played 7 tests, 4 of them in that series, he and Shackleton put West Indies out for 301. Then it was the turn of the hulking Charlie Griffith to flog life out of the pitch. He took 5 for 91, which gave West Indies a first innings lead, but only of 4 runs. Then when they batted, it was Shackleton and Trueman again. And despite a century by Basil Butcher, West Indies were out for 229, leaving England 234 to win. There was a stand this time between Barrington and Cowdrey until a lifting ball from Wesley Hall, who bowled throughout the innings, lifted from a length and broke Cowdrey's wrist. Close in particular struggled gamely on, but when the 8th wicket fell at 2:28, 6 runs were still wanted, and there were 2 balls left when Shackleton was run out, and Colin Cowdrey came out, arms strapped, to stand at the non-striker's end and watch David Allen play out those 2 remaining balls in surely the tensest of all test draws.
Let's have a look at this nice controlled run up of Freddie Truman, slightly diagonal. Get him nicely set on this delivery stride, the left shoulder forward. And he's caught off Cowdrey by close. Well, I really think that Truman thoroughly deserved that wicket, and Hunt might well have been out in that way before, but it was a peculiar combination which eventually did the trick. Truman coming in. Oh, beautifully caught. Beautifully caught by Edrich. Oh, he's bowled in. He's bowled in. Rather a sketchy sort of shot. Truman coming up now to Murray. Oh, he's skied. He's going to be caught by Cowdrey, and he's caught him. Murray out, caught Cowdrey. Bowled Truman. Shackleton, 39 shortly. August the 12th, as a matter of fact. Playing in his 4th test. Seems incredible he hasn't played more. He's never played one here before, anyway. Yes, he must go. And he's at last. He's got the wicket. Now it'll be Shackleton to Griffith. Oh, he's got in. Brilliantly caught by Cowdrey. Brilliantly caught by Cowdrey. A really glorious tumbling catch to his right. Caught Cowdrey. Bowled Shackleton for naught. Now then, the hat trick. Possibility for Shackleton. Shackleton to Gibbs. If he gets it, it's a hat trick, and he doesn't. And Parkes goes up close to the wicket. He's caught him. Stewart is out. The innings is over. Well played, Eric Shackleton. 3 wickets in 4 balls to finish the innings for 301, leaving Wes Hall with that not out 25.
Edrich's first ball, end of the innings. And he's caught, yes, he's caught, first ball by Murray. Edrich caught Murray, bowled Griffith for naught, and England are 2 for 1, and look how the West Indians are rejoicing there. 4 no balls so far called by Fuller against Griffith. And he's caught by Canai at first slip, and Stewart is out, and England have lost 2 wickets in this pre-lunch interval. Stewart caught Canai, bowled Griffith for 2, and England 20 for 2 in reply to the West Indies 301. Ooh, he's caught behind the wicket, caught by Murray, close is out. Caught Murray, bowled Griffith for 9, and England now 151 for 5. It looked out, didn't it? He looked absolutely plumbed. So England now 274 for 9. Allen, LBW, Beau Griffith for 2.
Well, Griffith's thinking about. He's got 4 for 88. He wants to get 5 for 88, I should think. That's the rational answer. And he has. Well, that was very exciting. A gallant effort by England. Just 4 runs short. 297 all out.
And he's caught by Cowdrey. So West Indies are 15 for 2. And McMorris has caught Cowdrey, Bell, Truman for 8. And England right back in the game.
Garfield Sobers comes in, caught at the wicket by Parks, and Sobers is out for 8. A rather wide low catch by Parks, well taken down by his boots.
Oh, he's caught him. Second attempt. Worrell is out without adding to his overnight score. Caught by Stewart there at forward short leg of Freddie Truman. He's out, is he? Yes, caught by Parks. Murray is out for 2. That's Truman's 4th. And he's taken 10 wickets in the match, Truman.
Oh, he's out, caught at the wicket. Well taken by Parks. Out goes Hall for 2, and the West Indies all out for 229. And England want 234 runs to win this extraordinary, magnificent seesaw test match. Yes, he's walking, and he's out.
Well, it was the most extraordinary dismissal. What, in fact, was a short ball, a bouncer, which didn't bounce very much. Mickey Stewart ducked, but he didn't get his bat out of the way, and the ball actually hit his bat when he wasn't looking.
Soon afterwards, when England was 72 for 3, Cowdrey was hit on the arm by a fast, short-pitched ball from Wes Hall. He left the field with a suspected broken wrist.
And he's caught. So Barrington is out, caught by Murray off Griffith for 60. And England are now 130 for 4, with really only 5 wickets in hand, though Cowdrey will come in desperation. And just went off the bottom of his bat by looking as he tried to cut Griffith there.
Actually got some sunshine at the moment. Yes, he's out. That was pretty clear. Parks LBW. And the brief moment of glory is over. Here's Wes Hall. 203 for 5, 31 wanted. And he's caught. He's caught by the middle of the short legs, McMorris. Here we are. Hall to Truman. He's caught, he's out, he's caught at the wicket. We could see that. without the necessity of an appeal. Well, there goes Truman.
And he's caught, yes, he's caught behind the wicket by Murray. Close is out. Caught Murray, bowled Griffith for 70. England are 219 now for 8. And four close out. 3 balls to go. 6 runs needed. Oh! There's the run! He's going to be run out, he must be! He'll never get there! He's out, he's run out! Shackleton's run out, but Cowdrey can still come in. Shackleton is run out, and of course, the run doesn't count, so it's still 6 runs to go. And 2 balls, and Cowdrey with one hand is going to come in. Well, he didn't win the race there, Shackleton. David Allen was up to him very quickly. I don't think he realised. 5 runs needed for a tie, 6 for a win. Cowdrey resumes, 19 not out. What tactics he can be suggesting, I just don't know. Everybody clambering round by the side. And Cowdrey's given the orders, which Ted Dex has obviously sent down. And we'll see what's going to happen. 2 balls to go then. Very dark. 6 runs needed to win. In the copybook test, I suppose he'd hit a 6. Bowling now to Allen. No, and he's going to block it, and the orders obviously are to save this game, which has come so close. And the last ball of this test match coming now. Wes Hall holds up one finger to Eddie Phillipson, who nods. 1 ball left. Hall will put everything into this. Look at him just gathering his last breath. Yes, they're sucking in there. And David Allen's heart beating, no doubt, very fast. Last ball now. It's a draw! It's a draw. England have saved the game.
West Indies took that series by 3 tests to 0. Now, I suppose cricket students of the future will find it very odd that one of the most graceful and gracious of all left-handers only played in 23 tests. But Graham Pollock was kept out largely by the political situation in South Africa. He was a record breaker with ease. In fact, he scored a first-class century before he was 17, and he made the record South African test score of 274. He played little in England except in the Sunday matches of the Cavaliers, but he did appear in that makeshift test series for the rest of the world against England in 1970. And even there he left it late because it wasn't in the 5th test that he scored that 114 that stamped his quality on English memories.
It's going to be 4 runs. No chance of Wilson cutting it off. It was quite a strange happening, that. Pollock hit it very well, perfectly timed, just leaning into the stroke, right in the middle of the bat. And you'll see when Pollock plays the shot, just hitting it wide of Lever. And watch the ball as it goes down there, wide of Lever's right hand, hits the stump there. Now, doesn't dislodge the bail, which at that pace is extraordinary, and runs away to the mid-off boundary. Peter Lever. It's put him down. Colin Cowdrey and Allen not coming across there. Not in front of Cowdrey, but moving towards Cowdrey's right hand. That'll be marked down as a miss to Cowdrey. But let's have a look and see just what happened with Allen Knott. Yes, and there he is, making that move with the left hand. He has a slip, and then he has 5 on the onside, so he's going to bowl, or going to try and bowl to Pollock's supposed weakness round about leg stump, left arm around the wicket. That's not the place to bowl, because every time you do that, it's 4 runs. He's slanting across Pollock, and that stroke has given Pollock his half century. Takes him on now to 53. What a great shot. 50 partnership up. 2 fine strokes, and you just can't bowl there if you're going to bowl left arm around the wicket to Graham Pollock. You've got to be bowling round about leg stump if you're going to come on that angle. Otherwise, the result is that he just stands away from the ball and thrashes it through the covers like that. It's safe and 4 runs. Fine shot. They're scattering in the crowd there. Straight up over the top of the rope.
It's driven fiercely and straight back. There's a chase there for Lever. He's just going to be unlucky. And a superb shot, no hesitation, no doubt about that by anybody. Dropped just slightly short of a length. It wasn't all that short, but Pollock immediately onto the back foot, hammering it through.
That's a fine shot. That's gone through the covers for 4 runs.
Just the one slip, the only fieldsman near the wicket. And 5 on the offside. All looking to save, first of all, a single and then the boundary. Well, he's hit that off round about middle and off. If I'd been bowling out there, Ted, I don't think I'd been very happy to see that.
Pollock really picking the open space. I think he'd rather set his stall, said, well, there's nobody around there. First opportunity, give it a crack, and he just happens to be good enough to middle it.
Oh, what a good delivery. And look at Lever. Have you ever seen such pleasure on a young fellow's face? Candidate for the Australian tour, and that one delivery might well have bowled him into it.
Even when they batted together, it was hard to choose between Garfield Sobers and Graham Pollock, but it was Pollock who scored the century that gave the rest of the world that match by 4 wickets and the series by 4-1. Now, another famous Test exile was Barry Richards, who amazingly played in only 4 Test matches. I say amazingly because very few people could make batting look as easy as he did. Now, Hampshire have never won one of the finals, but in 1972, Richards took them as near to it as a man reasonably could. He made 129 out of 223 and took 3 good catches, but even so, Lancashire won by 4 wickets. Just get some idea of his quality, though, by watching his strokes and remembering the quality of the bowling he faced.
Barry Richards coming good just at the right time for Hampshire, having made a couple of hundreds in the last week, 1 in the Championship and 1 in the John Player League. Apparently in prime form, and if he is, anybody needs to look out. Peter Lee is 26 years old, born in Northants, for whom he played for 4 years until 1971. It's in his first season with Lancashire. It's a beautiful looking stroke. What a lovely start to the day. My goodness, doesn't he make it look easy?
That's beaten Bond, that's coming through, no need at all for him to chase it. Almost casually and gently stroked away there. That's just cleared him, lofted by Richards, over the top. That's timed to perfection, off the front foot, allowing the ball to come onto the bat, stroked away by Richards.
That's a fine shot. Lloyd seeking to get him onto the back foot. It only gave him the opportunity to pull it away between mid-on and mid-wicket. Goodness me, what a stroke. 50 up for Hampshire, and Richards just starting to get into top gear. That's 6 runs. A great shot. Spin round about the Midland leg. And umpire Ken Palmer had the hands in the air well before that went over the line. It's 4 runs down the track. Here's 50. He's the real danger man for Lancashire. That's safe for 4 runs. Perfectly timed again. Splitting those 2 men on the boundary. Picking it up from round about Midland leg stump. Well, that's the 100, and what a lovely shot. A little bit of room for the stroke there. Oh, Lloyd's dropped him.
Down the wicket, hammered into the offside, and that's going to beat all 3 fieldsmen. And there's a cheeky shot indeed, gave himself room, and that's it, no problem at all. Pushed it where he liked on the offside. Takes him through to a truly magnificent 100. 100 made out of 166. And full praise too from his opponents here, Lancashire. Nobody could ever doubt that Richard seemed to be almost on his way to 100 from the first moment he took guard today. It's coming only 170 minutes, 2 sixes and 12 fours in it. Down the wicket, hammered over the top. 1 bounce into the crowd, 4 more runs.
6. Fabulous shot that. 1 knee and swung away. Bowled him in the 56th over. Barry Richards is out bowled by Peter Lee for 129. Must certainly be one of the greatest innings played this summer in any type of competition. One of the finest pieces of batting one could ever hope to see.
No bowler in the history of cricket ever made a greater impact on his first Test match than Bob Massey, the fast medium bowler of rather unfashionable Western Australia. And he did it at Lord's, where he took 16 wickets for 137. Even his second innings figures of 8 for 53 have only been beaten once by Albert Trott as long ago as 1894-95, when he took 8 for 43. Tall, fair-haired and good-looking, he wasn't helped at all by the pitch. He did it all by swing, control, length and line. It was a superb performance, And even on the last day, as many as 7,000 people turned up to see him finish it off. And he accepted it all as modestly as he did everything else, including his imitations of a commentator I could touch with a very short stick.
Stackpole is the man at second slip. Greg Chappell, the one on the other side of Marsh, and Ian Chappell is at first slip. Hold him! A good victory there for Massey, a good Yorker, and look at the breakthrough for the Australians. Look at the joy on Massey's face. Fine effort by this young bowler, playing in his first test match, and what a victim to get as your first test wicket. Geoffrey Boycott, the England opener, bowled Massey for 11, and you can see here how Boycott's defensive stroke is beaten here, the ball getting under the bat and just inside between bat and pad. And he's asking for that, and he's given it. It was the in-swinger, having bowled 4 outswingers to D'Oliveira. Massey then slipped in the in-swinger, and it's the 4th wicket to go down, and you can see here, bowled from wide, pushed in, and beating D'Oliveira's forward defensive stroke.
D'Oliveira, the last man out for 32. LBW to Massey. And that looked a pretty bad shot from Mike Smith, playing across a full pitch, which hit the base of the stump. So another success for Massey, his 3rd wicket, having a great day on his debut here for Australia at Lord's. So let's look at it again. Massey from the nursery end to Mike Smith on 34. And effectively yorking him as he tried to work it to his favourite area on the onside.
Bob Massey is the bowler. He's out. A bad shot by Alan Knott. He guided that straight into Colley's hands at Gully. It's the 6th wicket, so badly needed by the Australians. And Alan Knott is the man dismissed. Massey breaking through again. His 4th wicket in the innings. Massey bowling to Tony Greig. Oh, he's gone. Must be out, caught behind. He's given him out, and Greig is not particularly enamoured of the raised finger at the far end. Very confident appeal there, the shout from the Australians. Well, Tony Greig wasn't too happy, but you can see the reaction from the Australians here as the ball comes, it looked from here, possibly with the inside edge, and the shout from Massey, who is just about to go round, and Marsh throws the ball up in the air. Umpire Constant is the umpire at the nursery end. Massey is bowling now to the England captain, Ray Illingworth, and he's bowling from the nursery end. And look at this delivery that nips back there in the air, strikes Illingworth on the pad, and umpire Constant at the far end has no hesitation at all in raising the finger. A very, very good delivery, that, because the 2 balls before had moved away in the air from Illingworth. Very fine bowling from this young Western Australian medium pacer. He had Illingworth playing at the outswinger, the 2 balls previous, and then suddenly nipped that one back at him from outside the off stump. Well, that broke the partnership between Illingworth and Snow, a half-century partnership and a very good one for England. And here now is Massey bowling again to Snow. And there is the outswinger. Now that really is fine swing bowling, coming on with the 2nd new ball. 1 wicket with an in-swinger, a beautifully pitched outswinger there to account for John Snow. It started round about leg stump and then hit the base of the off stump. A ball of very full length and very well bowled indeed by Bob Massey. Splendid performance from this young fellow playing in his first test match. And here he comes in around the wicket, bowling again from the nursery end, still with the 2nd new ball, and bowling to Norman Gifford. And Rodney Marsh, his West Australian teammate, takes the final catch that makes the final dismissal of the innings, and England are all out for 272. And look at the jubilation on Bob Massey's face. That's real pleasure, isn't it? An entirely unspoilt young cricketer playing in his first test match at the home of cricket, and he's done so wonderfully well. The finest debut performance for any player in the history of Test cricket, 8 for 84. A very, very good performance now by Massey as he goes back into the pavilion at Lord's. Rodney Marsh, and what a fine piece of bowling that was by Bob Massey. He deserved that one. A good breakthrough there, 18 for 3 England, and Massey, having bowled so well without result, has finally taken the wicket of Edrich to a really good diving catch by Rodney Marsh. Massey bowling to D'Oliveira. Stackpole or Greg Chappell, it's Greg Chappell. He's taken D'Oliveira. It's the 4th wicket down. And D'Oliveira sadly walking out. You can see here that he didn't play it too badly. It goes off the outside edge. Greg Chappell getting it very low down. In fact, I called Stackpole at first. It was Stackpole going away to the right there and now leaping up as Greg Chappell throws the ball in the air.
Bob Massey having a dream of a Test match debut. 8 wickets in the first innings, and now at tea, 2 more for 8 runs. Bowling now to Tony Gregg.
And it's gone. Caught at first slip by the captain, Ian Chappell. What a match Bob Massey is having.
Another look. Bob Massey coming round across the right-hander. He pushes forward. It finds the outside edge. Goes round about right knee height to Chappell. Up it goes. No problem.
And that's it. Alan Knott's gone the same way as the rest. And Massey takes yet another wicket. So Alan Knott caught in the slips, feeling for it outside the off stump. This wicket going down at 54. Massey the bowler to Alan Knott. And that ball going down the hill here at Lord's. Alan Knott, a thick outside edge.
Stackpole at second slip. Illingworth out. The 7th wicket down. And now a new world record for Bob Massey, the only man in the history of Test cricket ever to take 13 wickets in a match on his debut. Nothing wrong with the pitch. The pitch is a beautiful batting track, but he's doing it all with swing. Nothing happening off the pitch. He's cutting 1 or 2, but it's being done in the air. They're asking, and he's gone. He's on a hat-trick. John Snow, first ball, glancing down the leg side. Massey 6 for 35 in his 20th over. You can see here how Massey takes his 6th wicket. Snow pushing away there, the ball deflected. And Rodney Marsh moving across. There's nothing difficult about the catch. Umpire Fagg just about to lift the finger. He's out. Edwards has caught him behind square leg. It was a good, authentic stroke. And Bob Massey now has become the first Australian cricketer ever to take 15 wickets in a Test match. What an incredible performance for a man in his first Test. An authentic stroke behind square leg, clipping it away to Ross Edwards, who took the catch quite comfortably. And England now 81 for 9. That's out. Greg Chappell, the man completing the innings. An easy chance, shin high. Chappell took it very well. The last man to get to be dismissed was John Price. You can see him here to Massey pushing the in-swinger away, the outside edge. And Greg Chappell takes a comfortable catch. And his final figures now, Bob Massey with 27.2 overs, 9 maidens, 8 for 53. Bob Massey cut from the field by players and spectators, 8 for 53 in the second innings, following 8 for 84 in the first.
That performance was sufficient to give Australia the Test match by 8 wickets, though the rubber was drawn at 2 each. Incidentally, more recently, Narendra Hirbani, the Indian, has stepped up into a parallel record with 16 for 136 on his first appearance. But it's hard to believe that there have been many happier performances than Massey's. Now, since the war, tests between England and West Indies have often been memorable, but the series of 1973 somehow didn't seem to have the real impact. First of all, the summer was shared with New Zealand, but crucially, I think, their great performance, the great West Indian performance at Lord's, was marred by that awful bomb scare.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a very important announcement to make. I'm sorry to have to tell you we have received a bomb warning. I must ask you, therefore, to leave your seats, taking your personal belongings with you, including luncheon baskets, and quietly and slowly to move out of the ground by the main exits closest to you.
It was a nasty practical joke, but the police had to be careful. They advised everybody to leave the ground. The West Indies went back to their hotel, the English team to a tent behind the pavilion. As to the batting, Kanhai, the little man on the neat dancing feet, 157. Sobers with the stealthy grace of a tiger, 150 his 26th Test century. Only Don Bradman had made more.
Very delicate leg glance by Kanhai, beautifully turned round. West Indies captain moving on there to 42.
What a great stroke. That's a real Compton Cowdery style sweep. A beautiful piece of play there. Illingworth now bowling to Rowan Kanhai. And there it is. That is Rowan Kanhai's 6,000th run in Test cricket. He's playing in his 74th Test match here at Lord's, and the only others ever to achieve this great feat: Sobers, Cowdery, Hammond, Bradman, Hutton, Barrington and Harvey. It's a great shot. Greg just isn't fast enough to bowl bounces on a good batting pitch. Kanhai didn't bother hooking that behind square. He just slashed it away through mid-wicket. Willis has got him. Caught and bowled, the third wicket to go down, and all three to Bob Willis. Clive Lloyd miscuing there and attempted on drive. And good work by Willis. Oh, and a misfield will give Kanhai his 100. Luckhurst, the offender. Kanhai goes to 100. A fine innings by the West Indian captain.
Beautiful shot by Gary Sobers. Really picked that up and clipped it away through mid-wicket.
Magnificent stroke. It really was wonderful to watch. The gentle defensive stroke, first couple of balls of the over. And then that really classic off drive. Got it away there, just through the extra cover position. Marvellous placement. Just rolling the wrist a little bit on that one so that it went finer. Underwood again, and one, I think, starting off to go the wrong way, Underwood. No chance to get the right hand to it. But 4 really from the moment it left the bat, as long as no fieldsman could get across to it. Again, it's the timing. No ball called by umpire Bird. And again now, Gregg to Canai. And there's another boundary. Tony Gregg really taking a hammering out there today. Now Willis is ready to bowl and Canai to bat. Plenty of fire in that one as well. No respect there for teammates. The 150 for Rowan Canai. And that takes him to his highest ever test score against England. What a lovely stroke to do it with. So it's to be Bob Willis now bowling from the nursery end, and he's to bowl to Canai. He's got him. It's a good catch by Tony Gregg, going away to his right there, and a good delivery from Willis, who has just picked himself up another little victim, and what a good one from England's point of view. Rowan Canai out, caught Gregg, bowled Willis for 157. And the pavilion and everyone around the ground rising to Canai. It was a marvellous innings.
Beautiful shot again, 4 runs all the way. Good cricket there by this master cricketer who'd been looking at this offside field. Knew how difficult it was going to be to Pearson. Another beautiful straight drive. Beats Fletcher, goes through for 4. Brings up the 400. What a wonderful shot from Gary Sobers. Packed house here now, really getting full value for money. What a wonderful shot. You'd really have to see a lot of cricket to see a better shot than that.
That's it. Overs applauded by the England side. There is a modest invasion of the turf. Fine 100 then for Gary Sobers. His 26th Test match 100.
The shot. To 6, magnificent entertainment for a big crowd again at Lord's. More people on this second day than on the first. Very good humoured as well they might be, because they're seeing some really classic batting here by the West Indians.
Oh, a magnificent shot. He fastened onto that like a panther. Not all that short. And the ball flew away off the middle of the bat, quite safely over the head of Boycott at mid-wicket.
It's to be Bob Willis, who has 4 wickets. And another 4 runs, a very elegant, gentle stroke really from Sobers. whip shot, square leg. Scoring faster than 1 a minute. 620 minutes. And it takes Gary Sabers up to 150.
So West Indies 652 for 8. They won by an innings from 226 and took the rubber by 2-0. Now never surely can spectators have played such a part in a test match as they did at the Oval in 1968. Rain on the last morning seemed to have washed the game out as a draw, but there was a glimpse of sun just after lunch, and all unasked up came a host of spectators with brooms, brushes and blankets to mop up and clean up, so that quite incredibly, at 4:45 it was possible for play to start again, with Inverarity and Jarman in at 85 for 5. Cowdrey flung all his fieldsmen up round the bat and shuffled through his hand of bowlers until D'Oliveira finally bowled Jarman on the forward stroke. That was enough for Cowdrey. He called up Underwood, and Underwood on the pitch made for him was absolutely unplayable. He didn't need his 35 minutes. In 27 balls he bowled out the rest of the Australians and finished with 7 for 50. But Underwood's 7 for 50, did he win the match, or was it those spectators with their mops, brushes and blankets?
Chappell has scored more runs in the series than any other Australian batsman, but not so many as John Edridge. It's off the pad.
I think one should point out, Peter, that there's been quite a number of overs delivered from around the wicket by the quicker bowlers on both sides in this match. And it seems to me that the balls from Underwood, which have turned this morning, have been pitched outside the off stump. And probably there is a little bit of rough there caused by the quicker bowlers.
And that looked out certainly from here, and look at Derek Underwood, absolutely thrilled, given out by umpire Fagg, a tremendous early blow for England. And Chappell on the back foot, and I must say from here he looked absolutely plump.
Doug Waters, the batsman, on 1. That's out. Caught behind, and what a vicious delivery. Landing on or just outside leg stump and spinning shoulder high through to Alan Knott. And no wonder Derek Underwood's pursing his lips there. And the fieldsmen are moving around to look at that spot. It really was a vicious delivery, and it's Derek Underwood's 100th wicket of the season. It must be out. John Snow. A good catch, moving quickly to his left, and Paul Sheehan, the 5th Australian wicket to fall. The ball from Illingworth had just jumped a little bit. Sheehan trying to force it away on the onside. Didn't quite get over the top of it, and Snow took a splendid catch, moving quickly to his left.
Incidentally, the sun has gone in here, but the clouds are thin and high in the sky. Snow then to bowl to John. And that's steered through for 4. Jarman gets another 4. And having said the clouds are thin, the rain is coming down. Coming just into our commentary box and certainly coming down now, and the umpires there are asked by the fielders what they thought about it. In fact, Jarman has to just ask for Cowdrey. Cowdrey wants to go on, and now it's up to the umpires to decide. They're now going to discuss the rain, because Cowdrey wants to go on, the batsmen don't. This is the procedure for bad weather. And they're coming in. They're coming in early then. After one ball from John Snow, hit for 4 by Jarman, they've come in because of this rain.
A lunchtime storm leaves the Oval awash and England in despair, but a great effort by ground staff and volunteers gets it dry again by 4:45. 75 minutes to go. For 40 of those minutes, England frustrated by the ease of the pitch, but it's D'Oliveira who opens the door.
But I think Colin Cowdery has tried every possible permutation of the bowlers in the last 35 minutes, and the wicket has proven to be the winner.
He's out. Well, there we are. There's the first wicket. D'Oliveira has got it. An involuntary sort of shot from Jarman. Seemed to me he was withdrawing his bat too late. 110, that doesn't matter. 6 down. Another victim for Alan Knott in this match. 4 to get. Now Underwood at this end. To bowl to Mallet. Who batted for 3 hours in the first Australian innings. He's out! Caught by Brown. And that one lifted. Brown delighted, not a difficult catch. So Mallet is out, second ball. 3 to get. So 1 ball to go in this over. Ten men round the bat. Doesn't matter about the 4s or 6s, runs don't matter at all. Ooh, he's out, is he caught? Look at Brown, look at Dave Brown, he's gone, and that was a better catch. More difficult because he had to go right low for it. Oh, what a day is Dave Brown having. And Underwood too. Eight down and 5 of them to Derek Underwood. 5 for 44 at the end of that over. 28 overs and 17 maidens.
14 minutes to go and 2 wickets to fall. Underwood to Gleeson.
Coming in round the wicket this time, Underwood. And he got him, bowled him, off stump, knocked out of the ground. And Australia are 120 for 9 with just 1 wicket to go. Whole Test series depending on this. That's the end of that over, so it'll be Inverarity to play Underwood. Illingworth 28 overs, 18 maidens, 1 for 30. There's the Australia score with just these 8 minutes or so left. Here's Underwood coming up now for his 31st over. All the fielders there in your picture. And they've been there most of the day. This has been the field placing for most of the day with the occasional man out in the covers, but for the last half hour they've all been round the bat. Inverarity has been there for 4 hours 10 minutes, a superb innings for his country. Appeal, he's out! He's out, W. England have won, and the series is drawn. There's Colin Cowdery, the happiest man on the field. Underwood has taken 7 wickets for 50 runs, being completely mobbed. What a wonderful scene. There's Colin Cowdery. He snatched victory from what looked like a certain draw when that rain came. Underwood's figures, 31 overs, 3 balls, 18 maidens and 7 for 50. Admittedly on a pitch which helped him a little bit now, but a magnificent bowling performance.
It was at Lord's in 1978 that we saw the first signs that Ian Botham was going to become the most effective all-rounder in the history of Test cricket. A man can only beat his own contemporaries, but Botham proceeded to look physically and actually more than life-size in this game. he came into bat when England were 134 for 5 and the Pakistan bowling looked really on top. He proceeded in 2.5 hours to make 108 out of 364, and that was his batting share of the match.
That's a good shot. That's a beautifully timed stroke for 6. No need to chase that. You set those close in fields, you've got to be bowling very accurately. That's a good shot. Took it all round. Good running and nice piece of fielding by Wasim Raja. In the air and quite safe. Hit away well wide of Harun Rashid, and Ian Botham now has gone on to his half century. Put that down, and no one could say it was easy. He's certainly travelling very fast. The story of if you're going to hit them hard, and Iqbal Kazim felt the full pace of that.
So Botham facing on 82. That's driven fiercely once again for 4 runs. Absolutely lethal he's been here today on anything slightly overpitched. And hitting with such tremendous power, he's never afraid to lift or loft the ball. Beautifully built young man, and using every ounce of his wonderful physique. And seconded to Botham. And greets him with a full toss too, and Botham make no mistake, he really middle that through mid-wicket before. So that 4 bringing up the 300. And Botham takes his score on to 94. Professional manner to deal with a full pitch. And that could go through. It's beaten one, it's beaten them both, and it goes through for 4, and again the Botham bat is held high up, and what a record this young man is establishing. That's his 3rd Test match 100. It's on his 7th Test match. And he made 100 in the last Test match at Birmingham. He made one prior to that in New Zealand. And so he's made 3 Test 100s in his last 5 Test innings. He's already averaging something in excess of 50 with a bat in Test match cricket.
Botham on strike. Well, that's a splendid start this morning. That was probably the best shot of the lot so far. It wasn't a full toss, it was just a little bit short of a half volley. It's a strong boy. Out. Bad luck, played on, and the end of a splendid innings. Victory there for Liaquat Ali, and Botham is out. Bowl Liaquat Ali for 108. 324 for 9.
There was rain over the weekend, but the wicket at Lord's seemed to roll out true as it could be. A batting wicket, in fact. Yet, then and there, Botham, like Massey those 6 years earlier, proceeded to win the match by swing, length and line with some subtle variations of pace. It was Willis who asked to change ends, but it was Botham who won the match with 8 for 34.
Ah, that's gone. Well bowled, Ian Botham. He almost did it in the last over with a big leg cutter. And that one lifted and went away from Madassa. The second wicket is down. Madassa out for 10. Court Taylor bowled Botham. Madassa. Yes, it certainly went away off the seam. It's quite a fine tickle.
Edged away and beautifully caught again. That's the perfect outswinger, and tally goes. It's Graham Root snapping up his second catch. And the perfect demonstration of the outswinger. Pitched exactly right, moved away late, caught the outside edge, and 4 men are out for 108.
Oh, what a good piece of bowling. Well, it's a great over, this, and the perfect culmination for Ian Botham, with Haroon comprehensively bowled by Botham for 4. And he's gone. He's picked up his 4th wicket, and Wasim Raja, driving a little too early, is the 6th one to go down for Pakistan, with the total at 119. Wasim Raja caught and bowled Botham for 1. Botham has 4 for 26. Quite a simple catch, if you can have such a thing, and Botham must be hot favourite now for the Cornhill Man of the Match award. That was a bad shot. Good catch by Bob Taylor. But I think on the replay we'll see that that was very, very wide. More credit to Taylor for having got across to take the catch off the outside edge. Wasim Bari has gone for 2.
And he's caught it, and it's another very good catch indeed. Went very, very low off the outside edge. Botham takes yet another wicket. Sikandar, the man to go, out for just a single. And again, it was a good outswinger, which brought about his downfall. Well pitched up. Again, the laid-away movement. There's no question about that one, though. That one swung in. He's only left one stump standing. A great sight to any pace bowler. A great sight for Ian Botham, as his figures now stand at 7 for 30. And this leaves nobody in any doubt whatsoever. And that's it, and the test match is over. And what a test match this has been for Ian Botham. His final figures here, 8 for 34. And all that following a magnificent 100 on the first day. All the delighted England players congratulating Ian Botham. He's been given the ball there, and I'm sure he's going to treasure that for many years to come. The pavilion here, a fairly meagre crowd here at Lord's, but those that are here rising to this fine young Somerset all-rounder.
So Botham not only made a century, but he took 8 for 34. And after that bowling performance, Lloyd Budd, one of the umpires, said, "He showed me I was never a swing bowler, and I earned my living at it." At the Oval in 1979, Botham made every effort to beat India, but he was thwarted by the remarkable Sunil Gavaskar. They needed 438 to win at a run a minute, and Gavaskar made 221 out of the 429 for 8. He needed only just a little more assistance to have done it. How good is he? Well, he's remarkably good. He breaks records with incredible frequency, and he does it also very politely.
Oh, it's beautifully placed, perfectly to the pitch of it. Willis herring after it down to the main scoreboard there. It's just going to beat him and go over for 4. First boundary of the morning, a delightful extra cover drive by Sunil Gavaskar takes him on to 50. Yet another 50 to the Indian opener.
Bob Willis, Vauxhall End again. This is his 15th over. He'll take his runs on to 42 and Gavaskar's to 66.
And that's a nice full toss as a gift to start with, and it's put gloriously through mid-wicket for 4. The single down to long leg brings up the 150 for India. 150 coming up here in the 72nd over.
Splendid stroke to bring up the 100 for this fine batsman.
Please stay off the wicket.
100 to Gavaskar. And
don't upset the batsman.
Spectators rushing on, uncaring of whether anyone else wants to applaud Gavaskar or not.
It's a beautiful shot. Half volley, admittedly, but put away in really glorious style for extra cover.
Lovely shot from slow ball, very well picked up. Gavaskar quick to seize on that. That's his 12th boundary. And there's his 150. That's a great knock. 150 out of 253. Beautiful innings from Gavaskar.
Hit that over the top, cleared the ring of inner fielders for 4 more. And Indian players enjoying not only the score but the lovely sunshine here at the Oval. Gavaskar already with one record to his name here, his record opening stand, 213. Need another 11 to make the highest score by an Indian in this country. And there's 4 of them. The rare occasions that Peter Williams dropped it short outside the off stump, and as we've said repeatedly, this little man very, very seldom misses a loose ball. That single brings Gavaskar also to 500 runs in the series.
Here's Bob Willis steaming in at him, bowling from the Vauxhall End. Here's his 200. A super innings. Magnificent performance. The worst thing about all this is that it stops the batsman who's done so well receiving the proper plaudits of the crowd. And you can't have anyone who's played better than Gavaskar today. 200 out of 324, 431 minutes. And he hit 19 boundaries. It's the 3rd double century of his Test career and only the 2nd 200 made by an Indian player against England. Well, that's what happens when the luck's running with you. Nicely fielded by Butcher. So now Gavaskar has equalled highest ever Test innings by an Indian player. That little edge stroke past leg stump. He's made 203. Man is at deep backward square. That's Peter Willey. .350 comes up. .204 to Gavaskar, and that now beats the Nawab of Pataudi's previous record of 203 not out at Delhi 63-64.
Well, a superbly placed shot there by Gavaskar. Saw the big gap there between long on and mid-wicket and smacked it right in the middle. Records and achievements going by the board here. That single takes Gavaskar on to 221, his high score in Test match cricket, beating the 220 he made against the West Indies at Port of Spain in 70-71 season. And he's gone. So the end of Gavaskar. Botham comes on and does the trick. Gower takes the catch at mid-on and is at the end of Indian hopes. Well, it's certainly the end of one of the finest innings we've seen here at the Oval for many, many a long day. Superb performance by little Sunil Gavaskar. 8 hours, 7 minutes for a magnificent double century. 24s in that innings, which the few privileged people here will remember for a long, long time. And none more so than those English fielders out there. He's kept them at bay. He hasn't given a chance over that long, long period.
Gavaskar announced his retirement with 34 Test centuries and 10,000 Test runs to his name. Now, for one who's an addict of both cricket and wine, commentating and reporting on one, tasting and writing about the other, makes a perfect combination. You've seen some of the cricket, you've seen the cellar, you've seen the wine books. Now listen to some of the other joys. Cheers.
And Lindwall seizes it. He's just going to bowl with a new ball now from the grandstand end. Goes through the usual Lindwall bout of physical jerks. The shirt is now comfortably loose and it fills with wind as he comes up now from the grandstand end. Bowls the first ball to Hutton, a magnificent outswinger. Hit for 4. Now that was hit on the half volley by Hutton for 4, and a difficult ball it was to cope with. Over its last 2 yards it went 8 inches. It went off the line of the middle and off, clean outside the off stump. And Hutton, right over it, hit it firmly past the somnolent Toshack at point for 4 runs. And now here comes Lindwall again to Hutton, and that was a magnificent in-swinger that bowled him off his pad. Well, that was another magnificent ball. It's got rid of Hutton, and he is out. Bowled Lindwall, 81. Hutton bowled Lindwall, 81. England are 100.
Loader to John Goddard, faced yet again with an innings collapsing about his ears. He settles, Toastfield will group themselves round. Loader comes in, bowls to him, bowls in all over the top. Roping down the line of what was to him an outswinger. The stump leaning drunkenly back. West Indies are 142 for 8. And now indeed, Sonny Ramadin's batting capacity may be searched. 142 for 8. And the possibility, I think, is now not to be precluded that England may bat tonight and sample themselves the effect of a new ball in this light and in this atmosphere. The bowlers now very much on top. His 2 pace bowlers have done a very fine job on a wicket that has never been really fast. And now as Ramadin comes in, walking at a brisk military gait, to be joined by Alexander, who must have a few butterflies under the bottom ring of his sweater. The thought of his first test innings, the close fieldsmen group up. Graveney first, Cowdrey second, Shepherd third, Smith in the gully, Lock leg slip, Truman backward short leg, Evans standing back. 7 of them in a half circle round the bat as Loader from the pavilion end comes in, bowls to Ramadin, and Ramadin skies it, and Truman's under it, and he's caught it just by the square leg umpire, and West Indies are 142 for 9. With Ramadin caught Truman, bowled Loader, swinging, 142 for 9, and for Loader, a hat trick is on. Come in, if you will, Norman Yardley.
Well, there's no doubt about it. These two really have made this new ball move about in this heavy atmosphere. The wickets had nothing to do at all with any of the wickets that have fallen today. It is purely the heavy atmosphere, and the ball has moved about through the air. And now, of course, the excitement is boiling up, everybody wondering whether Loader is going to get his hat-trick. I can't quite remember. Can you, John, when the hat-trick was last done in a test match? I can't offhand.
I know a man named Matthews did it in the Triangular in 1912, if that's any help to anyone, but I don't remember one since then. Now, it is the luckless Gilchrist to face Loader, with again those 7 close fieldsmen grouped round the bat, and 3 up out in the defensive positions, and Loader from the pavilion end comes in. Now bowls to Gilchrist, and he's bowled him all over the place. It's a hat trick, and Loader is jumping about like a monkey on a stick, and everybody coming up. Fred Truman, bless him, flung both arms round Loader, and Locke coming up to pat him on the back. And now I'm afraid, Jack Bryce, the question is duly relevant. When was a hat trick last done in a test match?
All bowls. Dexter flicks down the leg side, another no ball, and Hall hangs his head quite penitently. May well be, I fancy, that English umpires, since the new rule, the front foot rule, have become altogether more no ball conscious, and find, in fact, watching the back foot easier in terms of quickness of shout than watching the front foot. And this is a strange thing, but so it seems to be. The front foot call comes slower than the back foot call. In again comes Hall from the nursery end in. Bowls to Dexter, who gets over it and hooks it imperiously downwards past McMorris up at silly mid-on for 2. McMorris turns to the alarm of an otherwise peaceful pigeon and throws back. The pigeon takes off and goes straight into the pavilion. 39 for 2. 5 to Barrington, 25 to Dexter. And still this ominous-looking field with the men deep for the nick and up close for the man who plays back so that the ball pops up. And Hall ruefully tenses and flexes his right foot, sweeps in again. No ball. Bowls to Dexter, another no ball. It's cut for 4. I was a little sorry to see this, and I could wish, in fact, that the white marker would be produced, which was such a help to English pace bowlers in particular in recent seasons. This white metal marker to show the taking off point. And it'll take a bowler back a few inches and save him bowling a no ball under the old rule. I feel that would be a great help to these two, because there's little doubt that they're bowling in their normal style and there's no attempt to take an advantage. Hall comes in, bowls to Dexter, gets over it and hooks in magnificently. Away there, down to mid-wicket. It's chased, but fruitlessly by McMorris. It's another 4. This takes Dexter up to 33 out of 47. course, he's made bigger scores than 33 in Test matches, and he may well do so this time. But I think I've never seen Dexter bat more reassuringly nor more commandingly.
And Lilly setting now a field of immense hostility. 2 short legs, 4 slips, 2 gullies, only 1 man out, that's Davis. And he moves in to bowl to Underwood with the chant of Lilly, Lilly in the background, in, bowls short. Underwood goes back, plays it down on the onside. Loves to stick on the line, this boy, and be a night watchman and prove that he's a bit of a batter. And the crowd now, as the sun and the beer combined, do their work away in the distance, letting out the chant of Lilly, 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 and appealing for some quite remarkable non-events. So then Lilly comes back to the beginning of his long run. He's looked occasionally to be flagging a bit. Moves in now, just Underwood's face in the light, the rest of him in shadow. Lilly comes in, bowls to him, and he plays all across that, gets an inside edge, and plays it down to Walker at backward short leg. There is no deep fieldsman, and there's only really 1 man in front of the wicket. Cozier is fractionally in front of square at short leg. Davis is at wide mid-off come cover point, but then 4 slips, 2 gullies, and a backward short leg. The other hazard at the moment is a colony of silver gulls, several hundreds of them. At first they pitched on the top of the stand as if they were vultures recruited for Lilly, but now they've come down onto the ground in considerable numbers. Lilly then comes in again, bowls to Underwood, right up to him, he turns that off his legs, it's away on the leg side, and that's gone for 4. And it's not often that Underwood hits Lilly for 4, and there was a brief exchange of what are usually called pleasantries, and Underwood steps up, still this grotesque effect of his face lit by the sun, the rest of his body in shadow, as Lilly comes in, bowls short to him, and he goes right back unflinching and plays it down at his feet, and Cozier hurries in to pick the ball up for Lilly.
And a freaker. We've got a freaker down the wicket now, not very shapely, and it's masculine. And I would think it's seen the last of its cricket for the day. The police are mustered, so are the cameramen, and Greg Chappell. And now he's had his load, he's being embraced by a blonde policeman. And this may be his last public appearance, but what a splendid one. And so warm. Many, of course, have done this on cold rugby grounds, but this chap has done it before 25,000 people on a day when he doesn't even feel cold. And he's now being marched down in the final exhibition past at least 8,000 people in the man stand, some of whom perhaps have never seen anything quite like this before. And he's getting a very good reception, which is acknowledged in extremely gracious fashion. And at least he's being escorted off by an inspector, and no play will be restarted until he's gone. Fine performance, but what will they do about finding his swimming trunks?